All right, today on this video, we are gonna talk how to hire a realtor, like actually go from start to finish, and why it's still a really good idea to hire professional advice. I think there's been so much going on with the news and the headlines with the NAR settlement going on and commissions and the whole hoopla. Like, let's be real, it's been a circus. And so more than ever, it's really important to cut through the noise and just get down to the basics and why realtors have been trusted for the last 100 years and will still continue to be valued moving forward. So for most people, this is your biggest purchase and investment of your life, right? It's not every day that you spend $500,000 or $1 million on something. This is a big purchase with a 30-year mortgage. Not all of us are gonna live in it for 30 years, but at least you're taking on that loan amount and you're taking on the responsibility, basically signing your life away to say, I pledge to pay this bill for the next 30 years. So with all that being said, I think I'm gonna teach you not just how to eat the sausage, but how to make the sausage and exactly what goes into that recipe and why realtors are so important. Honestly, this is an open conversation because I want to cut through the noise and just be fully transparent. I want you to guys engage in the comments if you have questions for me, for my peers, if you have misconceptions or stereotypes. Like, I feel like realtors are right up there with used car salesmen, and it's really unfortunate because it just puts a damper on the really professional business owners that we have who take their career very seriously. So this is not a hobby business for me. This is not a part-time job. This is absolutely something that I've put blood, sweat, tears, and a lot of money into building a business that will be sustainable for the future. And more importantly, something that will be trusted for years to come. My reputation and the reviews that I get and the referrals mean the world to me. And especially when it comes from people like you who have had the experience of working with me holding your hand, saving you thousands of dollars along the way, negotiating for you what's most important. Those are the stories that I want to rise as the cream on top to really help set apart professionals from, I don't know, the sky is falling realtors and the hobby realtors and the cousin realtors who do one a year. Like, really, this is the most important purchase you're going to make in a really long time and the most expensive. So let's get serious about it. So if you want to hire a realtor, there's 20 questions I have for you that I want you to ask of them, whoever you're interviewing or myself, and just again, treat them as if you were hiring a lawyer or a cancer doctor or whatever. You wouldn't just take Joe Schmo or the first Google result. You would do your due diligence and really find out this information on your own. So number one, how long have you been a licensed realtor, right? I can say factually, I've been a realtor. This is my 4th year. I got started in the middle of 2020 with a newborn and just grew my business from there. Oh wait, this is question number 2. How many homes have you sold in the last year? On average, I sell between 22 and 25 homes a year on the buy and the sell side. So again, you want someone who's not just doing this once every 6 months or once a year. There's so much change in the markets and with lending and interest rates and what's just going on between agents that a market can completely shift 180 days, let alone 30 days at a time. What worked 6 months ago might not work today at all. So it's really important that your agent is going to be having those reps in, okay? Third question to ask is, what is your average list to sale price ratio? I can say confidently that mine is about 95%, meaning we're like almost always at list price. And that's because there's usually some negotiation in there, but we price your home accordingly and we factor that in before it even goes on market, right? We are pricing your home competitively to drive as many offers as possible to sell as fast as possible. Question number 4 is, how can you market my home to potential buyers? So what you're gonna hear most often is that, well, I'm gonna blast it all over the internet and I'm gonna do Zillow and Trulia and Redfin and it's gonna be everywhere. Well, sorry to break it to you guys as a consumer, just so you know, all we have to do is input it to the MLS and it automatically goes to about 30 websites. We don't have to do anything. So if they just say that is their marketing plan, then unfortunately, that's not a very good plan. Anybody can do that. Like a 10-year-old could do that, okay? So what we do is we actually have a strategic marketing plan for every single home because every home is different. I can't expect to list a home that's different the same way every single time. There are some core principles we use with our brand and our value, but it depends. If it's a fix and flip, I got to network with investors. If it's a move-in ready one, I'm going to push it out to my regular first-time buyers. It just really depends. Another big thing that we do is we have a newsletter that goes out every single Friday and we feature your listing. We talk about it. We do cool educational videos on YouTube YouTube like this that you've probably seen on my channel, where we just go into what's most important about this home, who is it for, like really just get into the lifestyle way of things. And ultimately, I am networking my bum off behind the scenes that you don't see on social media, where I'm constantly texting listings to clients or to other agents who I know have desired buyers. There's just a whole spider web of networking going on behind the camera. Okay, that's a big part of it. Another thing is, can you provide references from past clients? If an agent is hesitant to do this, that's a red flag, right? You should be like, absolutely, you've got to talk to so-and-so. We have the most fun. They have this crazy story. This is how we help them win. Those are the types of people that you want to get real life experience from, not just a Zillow review that gets sent to you. Like actually ask, can I have their phone number? I'd love to vet them, you know? Another question to ask is, what is your strategy for pricing your home? Again, this needs to be an agent who is super dialed into today's market happening this month. How many days on market is it? What's the area comps, right? How fast are they selling? Are they negotiating credits? What's going on in your hyper local neighborhood, and how will we price accordingly? Next one is going to be, how do you handle multiple offers? What do you do when you get 2 offers coming in at the same time? And then in the heat of the last moment, you get a 3rd offer. How do you handle that situation? They should have a very succinct and experienced answer, and maybe a story to go along with that of, this is what we did for this client. This is how we handled the situation. And I can tell you, it's a wild ride when it happens. It's very exciting, but you definitely need to have those core, I would say, pillars in place and prepared in advance for that, okay? Next thing we're gonna do you have a team, or will you handle all aspects of the sell? This is a big one, especially for some of the big names, the ones you're gonna see on the grocery carts and the ones you're gonna see on TV, right? These are big brand agents who have been around the block for a while. Usually they're team leaders, but if you're using them as your listing agent, are you gonna actually have direct communication with that person? Or are they gonna hand you off to their junior agent? Are you gonna have different showing agents? What is that experience gonna be like? So I can say for me, I've helped manage a team for the last 4 years, and I don't do everything all the time, and I'm very transparent. And now it's a value add to my clients, because I can say, you don't just get me, you get all of us. So if I'm ever not available, then I have this person available or this person, and they can open up for you so that you get that white glove service that you really want. Another thing is gonna be, how will you communicate with me during the selling process, right? That's a big one. Some sellers really wanna be handheld and they want a weekly phone call, and that's a-okay, and you are more than welcome to ask for that. I would love to do that. Some other sellers are like, call me when you need me, I'll be here. You know, just every client is so different, and so we'll work with you to fit the communication style that works best for you. What sets you apart from other realtors? That's a big question. What makes you different from your competition? You should confidently be able to listen to them say, this is what I do different, this is what I learned through this experience, and now we do things this way because of that reason. Lots of storytelling. I think that's really the summary of this video, is like, your agent that you're interviewing should have story after story after story and experience to show you that they have what it takes to do the best job. Another question you're gonna ask is, how do you handle home staging and professional photography? I don't wanna see a thumb in my listing picture, which in 2024, we still see that, which just blows my mind. I don't wanna see, you know, like weird random tchotchkes around. I wanna make sure that's clean. And so for us, we take home staging and photography, videography very seriously, not only for aesthetics, but for a high quality and professionalism. So as you guys know, I used to be a home stager. I created the company called Rome Rentals, ended up like building it up and selling it for a profit, which was so much fun. But home staging is my sweet sauce. Like, I love to present a beautiful product. And I think the first impression for buyers is everything. And if we miss that, then we miss opportunity and we miss dollars. So presenting a home professionally is 100% super important to me. Next question is, what is your commission structure, right? And this is gonna be a hot topic moving into summer of 2024 and future. How do you handle commissions? What does it cost to hire you? You should be able to confidently get an answer of, this is what it cost me, this is what you get with this cost, this is what you can expect, and this is why I'm worth this dollar amount, right? Keeping in mind, with a big asterisk here, commissions are always, underline always, negotiable. So if an agent tells you, I'm worth 6%, well, you damn well better feel like it, first of all, but also realize this is a bartering table. This is the opportunity to have the conversation and like, I love that you're worth 6%, but maybe I don't want to pay $25,000 to hire you. Can I pay you $15,000 instead? What does that conversation look like? And have you had that conversation yet? Next question is going to be, how long do your listings typically stay on the market? I'd probably have to do the research on this, honestly, to like look back at my last 6 of them and be like, what is my average days on market? Because I think it's around 15 to 20, to be honest, because I've had some that have taken longer, which slows that that down, and then some of them that sell in 3 days. So it totally depends, but they should be able to answer that question for you. Next one is gonna be, how can you provide a detailed breakdown of the selling process? So big one on this one is you're probably gonna get a lot of generic listing presentations, which is a slideshow that just shows you a little roadmap of the selling process, which is great, and the visual is great. But honestly, for me, if I'm interviewing someone, I wanna know like the nitty gritty. Like week 1 is this, week 2 is this is when you can expect this timeline. Week 4, this is what is happening, right? And that's another big value add that we offer is I always work with a transaction coordinator who's basically a superhuman behind the computer, which is usually a female working from home that is just driving these emails through, making sure that we are sticking to every single timeline and beating them, meaning we're ahead of schedule, everyone's communicative, and we're just rocking and rolling. So that's a big part of the selling process. And if you guys, again, this is like just glimpses of this process. I'm not answering all of these just for time's sake, but when we have our initial conversation about selling your house, absolutely, I'm going over all of these details with you with examples. Next question is gonna be, how do you handle negotiations with buyers, right? What does that look like as a listing agent? How do you negotiate when the buyer is asking for $50,000 under ask and they want the whole house power washed and they want such and such, right? They should have, again, stories to tell of examples of how they help both parties win and negotiate a smooth sailing. Next one is, what is your cancellation policy if I'm not satisfied with your services? Ooh, this is a good one. So how do I fire you, right? That's always a hot topic. What do I do if you're failing or if I really don't like your services? How do I get out of this contract? So every single listing contract has that cancellation policy written in, and that listing agent should be able to clearly explain to you how it works and what the pros and cons of cancellation could look like. Next question is, do you have experience selling homes in my neighborhood? So again, are they super familiar with your micro niche neighborhood, right? Laulani Tides is going to be different than Sunterra or than Ho'opili or than Mehana. Like you should know all the different neighborhoods and really experience in that area. And if they haven't yet, which is okay, because this is a big island, there's a lot of neighborhoods, maybe there's a similar area or close by area they do have experience with, which makes them an expert as well. Next one is, how do you handle open houses, right? What does your open house process look like? How do you present my home and market it during an open house? They should have a whole plan to be able to explain that to you confidently. This is what we do. This is how we network. This is how we follow up. This is how we really push your listing to as many buyers as possible. And we're almost there. Last 2 questions is, what challenges do you foresee in selling my home and how will you address them? I love this question because there's no such thing as a perfect listing. We're very, very few between, maybe new construction, right? But that's like really rare. With every listing, there's always going to be a couple of items that are like, ooh, if only this was fixed. So just being transparent and knowing out the gate can make you a better agent, and just saying, hey, I'm presenting this listing to you, but you should know these factors are here. This is what my seller is going to do to advocate for you and make it a good transition for you or help you out in the future. And one of the things I'll add is a lot of the times we'll throw in a home warranty for the buyer, which says, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, we know that there's some flaws with this home, but I'm going to give you a $500 value of a home warranty for 1 year. So if anything breaks in the home your first year, it's covered by this program. You're welcome. That's a great, great value add that we can give. Last question out of these 20 questions to ask how to hire a realtor is, what are your social channels and how are you connected with a national audience? So most people will stop at your social channels, but the second part of this question is a national audience. And again, this is something that is a huge distinguisher just with my company and how we work. I don't just market your home to the local area. I'm literally marketing it nation and global wide because our agents are global. Like we have over 26 countries, I think, and eXp Realty is the #1 brokerage with number count for agents in the country. And so I'm not just pushing it out to buyers and sellers. I am absolutely networking your listing out to thousands and thousands of agents across the country through what we have is Workplace. It's like Facebook for our corporate. And there's just so many opportunities on there. I also help run and manage a national team. So I have people in Vegas, I have people in Texas, in St. Louis, in Florida, you name it. We're all over the place. And we're constantly collaborating and getting eyes on our listings together. But all of my social channels, as you guys know, I'm on YouTube, Pinterest, etc. You just search my name and find me there real quickly, but not every agent is. And if they are, not all of them are active on all of them. So again, you are doing your own online stalking, your own Instagram proofing, like get a vibe check and also see their activity. right? Was the last post they made 6 months ago? That's not a very active agent. You know, you really want to see that engagement and that they're constantly having good conversations. So that was a lot, but that's the 20 questions I want you to ask super seriously and like point blank, like have confidence when you're having these conversations with agents, because we are not all created equal. We can all get through a 60-hour pre-licensing course, which a high school student could do, but not everyone can run a business like a business. Not everyone can fight for you like you really need. And again, this is the most important and expensive purchase you're gonna make probably in your lifetime. If it's not the first time, it's the second time. And we really just wanna come to you as advisors. That's my job, is to be your professional advisor and walk you through the unknown, knowing the contract inside and out, right? What do you do when crap hits the fan? What do you do when we hit the speed bump? That's where experience outweighs knowledge 100%. So I hope you guys just take this seriously. I'm also gonna provide a PDF link you can sign up for down below, which will drop into your email. So you can have this list of questions for you ready to go when the time is right for you. So I will see you guys next week with another video. Thank you so much. Bye.